Hola, gracias por estar aquí. Lo siento, no puedo contar mi historia en español. Mi vocabulario es mejor para hablar de la comida, la bebida y el baile que con trabajo y cambio. So I hope you are okay with me switching to English. So, as introduced, my name is Saskia van den Berg-Tromp. I'm a change manager at Philips and a connector at heart. I'm responsible for building the change management capability across our company. And I love how you mentioned in the poll that Nidhi just did about learning, and that some of you mentioned change, some of you mentioned transformation. And in one of the slides, Nidhi even mentioned how learning actually is change. And that is why change management, what I want to talk about with you today, and learning are so interconnected. So can I just get a confirmation that you can see my screen? Great. Then let's get started. So I want to talk about change with you today. And I think everyone will recognize that the times when change was simple, when change came one by one, is gone. They now overlap and build on each other. It does not matter what your role is, change is everywhere. And the understanding of how to take people along on that change journey is relevant for everyone in any role. I love the quote that you see on the screen here. Change has never been as fast as it is today, and it will never be this slow. This means the pace is increasing, but it will not get better. It will keep increasing. And on the site of this conference, it also said the field of organization learning is one of the most complex and changing worlds in terms of human capital management and organization. So I think that this is something that you will recognize as well. And during this time of so many changes, we are looking at our leaders to guide the way, but they are also often overwhelmed. We try to formalize the changes in learning, but it's difficult to keep up with all of that. We sometimes turn to AI to simplify and make sense of the whole overwhelm. But it is important to stay connected and to stay real. So I believe there is a way that we can drive impactful change in this turbulent time and to really, truly take people along. I believe that what we need is personal connection, relevant skills, and a clear vision for the future. So that is what I want to deep dive on today together. I want to share my experience, as Nidhi just shared. Role modeling and sharing experiences is a great way of learning. So I was very happy with that. So I want to share my experience as well as some concrete tips that maybe you can start applying, maybe already even today. So we'll talk about personal connections, how you make a difference, building skills, and having that clear vision, how you connect all the dots. But first, one of the things I love to do is ask questions. And this is my all-time favorite question to ask. What words do you think of when you think of change? So just as with Nidhi, you can scan the code. I'm using a different app, but it works the same. You can also go to menti.com and enter the code, but scanning is by far the easiest way. don't overthink. Just type the word that pop into your mind when you think about change. It can be in English, it can be in Spanish. I demonstrated I speak it poorly, but I can read it a little bit. So let's see how it is building up. I always love how this is building up a beautiful word cloud. Cecilia, can you help me with desafio? What does that mean? Okay, I can't hear you. Maybe someone can help me by typing in the chat.
It means challenge.
Challenge, thank you. Challenge, transformation. Miedo, miedo is fear, right? That's a big one. Coraje, I think that's courage. Uncertainty, improvement, immediate. Change of conditions. Nervous. Flexibility. Lovely. Lovely to see this build up. And what I love so much about this question is that there are always new things that come up, but there are two things that are usually very consistent. And that is there's always some sort of resistance, challenge, the fear part. And so you can see that here with the desafio. You see nervous, challenge, uncertainty, but you also see posibilidad, transformation. And there's always some of that excitement in here as well. And those are really the two sides of change. And I think that as a change manager and in any type of change that you are taking people along as learning as well, it is key to tap into the positive, tap into the excitement, into the energy, and try to understand where the negative is coming from so that you can help people move around that. Thank you so much for helping me build this. So if you understand where people come from, what their background is, and what they are bringing to the change, this will help to take people along on the journey. Because that is what change management is about. It is about taking people along on the journey. At Philips, innovation and change is at the core of what we do. We changed from a light bulb company to the health tech company that we are today. But the main constant that we always had is the meaningful innovation and the drive to really improve people's lives. And what we started to do last year is complement that with a culture of impact with care. And that is the story that I want to share with you. So you might wonder why there is a giraffe on this picture. As Nidhi said, if you use pictures, they should serve a purpose. I will get to the giraffe in a moment. So you might know that it has been quite a rough time for Philips over the past years. And we have been focusing on improving the quality of our tools, and we've also built our operating model. And now we are focusing on that culture that I mentioned. But changing the way people work is a big task. So what we did is we set up a network of what we call movement makers throughout the entire company to actually do exactly that, change the way we work. And what we wanted to do is let these people spread the positive change in their everyday work everywhere throughout the company. And the learnings of that journey I want to share with you. And that's where the giraffe comes in, because people are busy. So what helped is to create something special, create a movement that people want to be a part of. Make it fun, make it real, and don't let them think that they have to do it alone. This giraffe was our mascot because it stands for the fact that we are sticking our necks out and that we are standing out in the crowd. And it brought some fun elements. And for those of you who know, who get into GIFs, there are many fun GIFs with a giraffe. But it made it a bit light. It inspired people. It gave us a moment to laugh, and it really helped us shine the light on the people with the real stories. The second thing, what we worked on is we built skills because it needed to be really clear what is needed from these people, from these movement makers. And we made solid time to invest in these skills. We try to make it small so that they can apply them straight away, use it straight away. For instance, not everyone is a great storyteller, but everyone has a story to tell. So we worked with our leaders to tap into their personal stories, and with that, create little steps that everyone can use every single day. It can be as small as starting a meeting with a personal check-in, or really big in overdoing the entire way your team is structured. In our connection moments that we had, the most powerful moments were where people shared their experience with testing out these skills. So focus on what the people need and then let them build on that together. And the last thing that I want to talk about here is to help people manage the overwhelm, right? We talked about how change is coming from every direction. Help them to connect the dots because that will enable people to prioritize. It is important to connect whatever it is that you're doing. If you're doing learning, if you're a project manager, if you're a business partner, to tie that together to the bigger picture. So if I think about impact with care, our CEO shares the story in town hall sessions, in big sessions, always what is impact with care and how do we translate that in a day-to-day basis. Because changing a culture is not something that you do in a single meeting. Or when you have time in your calendar. It is about showing up every single day, every single interaction. And knowing how to do that makes it a lot easier. So if I think about the 3 key takeaways that I hope that you are taking from this, it is about those personal connections. Genuine care for people and empathy for where they come from is essential, and you cannot go wrong with that. Listen to people and try to understand where they come from. Build those skills. Solidify, make sure that the basics is right. They're called basics for a reason. And build on that foundation with a growth mindset. And the last thing, have that vision, know where you are going. I believe all of us are leaders in our own roles, and people are looking at what you are doing, how you are showing up. So know where you are going and actually be that change that you want to see. This is a picture that I have on my desk as well. And it is a reminder for me, because the biggest mistake that we can make is be all head and forget your heart, because this is the secret sauce to connection. So to sum it up in this brief moment that we have together, change will keep coming and it will be even faster. But if we have an open mind and we share the gifts that we have to share, we can make it a lot better. Thank you.